Hey everybody, Algebra 2, gonna go on to problem 2 here, lesson 2.2. Oh my goodness, this one has 4 parts. What do you think the chances of me getting all of those right? Here I'm doing this. This is the second problem that's assigned. And we are supposed to find the vertex of the graph. And then the other parts here, determine whether the graph opens up or down. We can do that right now. Find the y-intercept and sketch the graph. So if you were along for the last problem, we had one very similar to this. And to get the vertex, we put it in the vertex form of an equation, which we knew this -1 needed to be out in front. And then remember, it's ax minus h squared plus k. Sometimes they call this completing the square, forcing it to have a square here. The hk is your vertex. And then that a out there, remember that flips it if it's negative, like we will have to do in this case because of the minus in front of the x squared. And it also is the stretch for the vertical. All right, so if you remember how we did this on the last one, we took the 6 and divided by 2. That gave us a 3 right here. Because of this minus, normally this negative would follow right here, but because we're going to put the negative on out here, we are going to have a plus in here. We can see why that is here if we just kind of think about it here with the x plus 3 squared. That's going to be x times your x is your x squared. 3x and 3x is a positive 6x. And then your 3 times your 3 on the end there, that's a 9. But remember, we had a -1 out in front. So that's going to be the opposite on those. So when you multiply this, and there's your negative x squared. Multiply it onto the 6, that's your negative 6x. That's all good. Those are what we had for the first 2 terms. And then onto the 9. That'll be -1 times this 9 over here. But the only thing we're needing to adjust at this point, if we get, is we've got a -9 and we were supposed to have a -5. So outside here, that means we need to add 4 because -9 plus that 4 would equal the -5 that we had in our original problem. So remember how it goes. This in here would be like x minus -3. So sometimes people just memorize that this is the opposite of what it looks like. So it's a plus, so it's going to be a -3 for the vertex. And then the 4 sitting out here on the end is the y value of your vertex, and it's the same sign. So there's my vertex. Let's put that in. -3, 4. I feel pretty good about that. Scroll down and check it. And then this one's an easy part because of the negative that's in front of the x squared there. That means that it's a parabola opening down. Again, our vertex that we said was at -3, 4. It's opening down. Check that. We're doing good there. And then the y-intercept. Y-intercept, remember what a y-intercept is? When it's a lot of times people will just memorize this too. A point on the y-axis, x equals 0, right? So you're putting a 0 into the original problem. And when you put a 0 into that original problem up there, if you put a 0 in here and a 0 in here, those x squared and those terms with x's just go to 0, so they go away. So my y-intercept ends up being whatever that number is on the end, always in these quadratics. So we just have a -5. Might want it as a ordered pair. We'll have to just watch carefully there, see if it the y-intercept is, and it says simplify your answer if it can. Select the correct answer below if necessary, fill in the answer box. So there is a y-intercept. I think usually they want you to write it as an order pair. So that would be 0, comma, -5. If not, sometimes it might just be the -5. But normally if they want to point, it's an order pair. So let's check that one. Let's see, the graph of the quadratic function always has one y-intercept. To find the y-intercept, x equals 0 and calculate. So it says just calculate f of 0. Select the correct choice below the y-intercept is and fill in the answer box. So the only thing I can think of that they want instead, yeah, I know, I feel your guys' pain for having to use the Savas the way it only knows one way of doing an answer, but let's see. The y-intercept is -5. Yeah, see, that's rough because a lot of times they want it the other way. All right, I'm going to clear all this mess off this. Well, let's see. I've got everything written over the top of that graph. Yeah, I think I've got enough information that I can figure this out from everything. Can't even see the graph over here, so erase that stuff off from there. So I can. And we're supposed to graph this. So what I've found in using Savas, if I click on the graph itself, usually my tools are down here. My vertex again was -3, 4. So it's a parabola, get the parabola tool. -3, and sometimes these tools work different too, but just start it out and we'll see what happens. There's -3, 4, it's opening down, and we got a y-intercept down at -5. So if I use that as my other point. So first point was the vertex, and then I can do any other point, but since I know the y-intercept at -5, -3, 4, if I got the right coordinate on the vertex, I think we should be good here. Let's check. So lots of parts to that. That y-intercept just being the number instead of the order pair, that's kind of a weird thing, but all right. Hope that helps you guys. Good luck out there. Don't give up. You can do it. Just keep after it. If you get really stuck, just bring your question with you to class.